Hi, I'm Christy Lewis. I'm the founder and CEO of Quinn. We are based in Louisville, Colorado, and we are cleaning up snacks. Thanks for having me today, and I look forward to sharing my story and our journey to 2020. It's been a full decade, and it's been quite a ride. I'm going to share a presentation and then a brief movie that I'd love for you guys to watch because it really captures what we're trying to do. So sharing my screen. Okay, great. So we started in 2010. We were living in Boston at the time, and the idea behind Quinn was that we wanted to reimagine microwave popcorn. We wanted to put a cleaner product in the market, take all the chemicals and the plastics out. We actually patented a microwave popcorn bag. It's called the Pure Pop bag. It's compostable. And the idea behind this is that we wanted to deliver a product that was based off real food. No natural flavorings, just real food, which was kind of interesting because you would think that microwave popcorn would really just be popcorn and sea salt and butter, but it was far from that. So we launched with our microwave popcorn line, which is staring at you. Hopefully you can see all that. But we launched butter and sea salt, Parmesan and rosemary, and a maple kettle. We've since launched a really fantastic flavor called movie theater butter, which is my favorite. And then fast forward a couple years later, we went into the pretzel category because we wanted to bring forward whole grains in our pretzels. Currently, a lot of the pretzels that you will find are based of refined flours. So we wanted to make sure that we were using a whole grain, sustainable grown sorghum flour. So we launched the world's first whole grain, gluten-free pretzel line. And then 2 years ago, we actually came out with a peanut butter filled pretzel nugget, which is really exciting because I think it really put Quinn on the map. And then this past year, we launched a line of grain-free paleo pretzel chips, which is, they're my favorite. So you can find those in Whole Foods and Target, all natural specialty stores, except for Sprouts. Natural Grocers has been a huge supporter. And I think that's it for this slide. So part of the reason why I've been asked to kind of share our journey today is that we launched a transparency policy called Farm to Bag. And I'm going to just read this straight from this presentation because it's really important and it's why we're doing what we're doing. Yes, we're cleaning up classic snacks and we want to be innovative in the food industry and come out with really fun, unique products that you enjoy eating and sharing with your family and friends. But really, the idea behind it is we want to do good in ag. We want to change the industry for the better. And in order to do that, we launched the Farm to Bag transparency policy soon after we started in 2010. But really, it's the fundamental right that everyone should know where their food comes from and how it's grown. Not only does it push us to make better choices, but it inspires us to make better snacks. It's meant to encourage us to be open-minded and to push ourselves to improve for the better. This might be better growing practices, moving from chemical farming to regenerative, or from chemical to transitional. But whatever that is, we are striving and committing to becoming better than we are today. The vision behind this is that all of our small actions will lead to positive change over time. And we don't have to be, big CPG to impact the planet. So that's our Farm to Bag initiative. And then recently, we had been talking about this idea to be better than you are today. And it's really what I strive to do every day, and I have for 10 years. And so we really wanted to lean into our Farm to Bag transparency policy. So we just launched our Be Better, Do Better initiative. And so what this is that it's our commitment to agriculture to do things better, to ask more questions, to understand why and how, and really push our growers to do things differently. And so I've always believed that there's a spectrum in ag. And 99% is conventional, and then you have less than 1% organic, and then much less organic regenerative. And regenerative farming practices, I'm sure that you've heard the buzz, and that's been pretty prevalent in our industry right now, with the Kiss the Ground film and some other things. But at Quinn, we believe that if we focus on the less than 1% organic and the organic regenerative, we're never going to move the 99% of ag over here. And maybe that's chemical or conventional growers wanting to do something differently, but they don't really know how, or they can't do it all at once. Maybe they want to convert their land from conventional to transitional, and then transitional to organic. And then maybe in between there's regenerative farming. But we're approaching this where we're giving the grower the opportunity to understand what's better for his land, and working with him as he figures that out. So we are not demanding certain things. We are certainly not demanding any seals. We're huge believers in organic. We're huge believers in regenerative farming practices. We would like to see that 99% of conventional ag get there faster than it's happening right now. So our idea is that we're supporting these guys in whatever their decisions are. So flipping over to the next one. So this really outlines what we're doing. I mean, the first note is that we just get the conversation going. We're trying to work with growers who would like to do more. They just don't, again, know where or how. So we're just having those conversations, the open dialogue, get the conversation going with our farm to bag questionnaire. And then identifying the opportunities. What are they currently growing? What do they want to be growing? What are they currently doing? What do they want to transition away from? Can they implement grazing? Can they implement crop rotations? Can they do all sorts of different things on their land that they're not doing that might just be easy and as a test? But we're certainly, again, not demanding anything. We want to support in their journey. We want to be supportive in their journey. So the integration is the last step, which is where we plan and build a timeline. And we are working with Steve Tucker, who is actually featured in the slide and featured in our film. And that's a great journey on really what we're trying to do, what we have been trying to do for the past 10 years. So I will stop there, and we will present the film, and then I'm looking forward to Q&A. Thanks so much.
How much do you really know about the food you eat? Like the rest of us, probably nothing. But what if you started to question? And what if there was a different way, a better way? I'm Christy Lewis, and for the past 10 years, I've been on a mission to revolutionize food. How? By starting Quinn, a food company. This quest pushed me to learn everything I can about agriculture, farmers, packaged food, this planet, how they connect, and why it all matters. But wait, back up. In the beginning, the idea was to clean up microwave popcorn, this nostalgic classic snack I grew up with. Because when I realized what was actually in it, I was frustrated, and then I was just flat out pissed. We can't settle for this. So I started experimenting and took out all the junk, the known carcinogens, PFCs, PFOAs, plastics, chemicals, that metal patch, and replaced it with paper, compostable paper. And what if we ditched the natural and artificial flavorings in favor of real ingredients? It was just an idea turned prototype, but then I met Dave Vetter. Dave has been our supplier of organic popcorn kernels since day one, and was our first and only manufacturer willing to run our new Pure Pop bag on his line.
What we as a family has always looked at as organic is what a lot of people now are calling regenerative organic, with an added emphasis on soil health, animal welfare, and social justice.
Dave's father, Don, forged a new path in agriculture back in the 1950s, back when ethics, science, and post-World War II collided and went against biodiversity and our ecosystem.
What's so important about this soil is that every one of us depend on our survival on basically a 6-inch layer of a not significant portion of the Earth's crust. And at the rate that we've been degrading them, if we don't begin building them back up, they're not going to survive. Because it is a living organism as well, and we can't expect it to be healthy and thrive if we keep dumping poison on it.
Today, Dave's land is this oasis beaming with life smack in the middle of the U.S., an organic farm that is pioneering regenerative ag practices. Practices that have a massive impact on our planet and our food.
The bigger picture is environmental, because we reduce water pollution, it reduces air pollution. We increase diversity in the landscape. Wildlife begins to flourish in space where it was not doing well. The other is to be able to produce healthy food, clean food.
I didn't really understand it then, when I first started on this journey, what Dave had been building, all the change he was making. He knew what I was trying to do before I knew what I was trying to do.
For me, part of it is feeling good about what you do with the land and how you manage resources.
Sometimes it's this pure knowing, this instinct that we are doing it all wrong, that there is a better way. The food industry was missing connecting someone to your food.
The ones that are really serious about advancing organic and good food are pretty transparent.
100%. You know, it's almost 10 years later, that's why we're here, is that there was a believer in Quinn.
Anybody that's trying to make something like that work, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. The more I uncovered, the more questions that went unanswered, I realized it wasn't just about reimagining microwave popcorn. It was about reimagining food, what it could be, what it should be, and then knowing as a company, as humans, we could always be and do better. So, how do we take 99% of conventional ag and push it in the right direction? Steve Tucker is doing just that. He's one of a few farmers, just like Dave, who believes in a future that starts from the soil up.
Should we be scared of this?
No.
I'm hiding behind you. Is this our sorghum?
This is your white sorghum.
This is the future.
That's it. This is, you know what this is? Pretzels, right here.
Steve is doing a test trial with 85 acres of sorghum for our pretzels using regenerative practices.
What really makes healthy soil? What does it begin with? It begins with plants. And once you grasp that concept, the whole game changes. So instead of putting all the toxic things and trying to control every dynamic to the farm, now how do I work with it? And how do I feed it so that it can take care of itself?
If this trial works, we will have an ingredient that not only betters our growers, our families, and our planet, but it will show other farmers that they can do it differently, and they can start now. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need a seal of approval. It's about taking any step in the right direction. It's the challenge to be and do better than you are today.
What I love about working with you is that you're completely transparent. Because this is my biggest beef, is like we need to know like how our ingredients are grown, who's growing it, why, and the whole process behind it.
Sure. Well, it's just nice that people have an interest in what we do, because you care enough about your customers and what you do that you want to know where it comes from. You're the first food company to ever be on this place.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
We need to know what they're doing to this.
Right.
And then we need to push back, because it's the only way that the food system
Right.
in ag is really going to change.
Take this in for a second. The choices farmers, food manufacturers, and brands like Quinn make decide the future of our food and planet. We are determining our fate, and as consumers, you are too.
To make this work on any kind of scale for farmers other than just a few of us out here, it's going to take a lot of people being choosy about what to eat, and then supporting those brands that are also supporting that regenerative approach to agriculture and good food.
It's this quest, this vision to build a food company that doesn't stop learning, questioning, doing. And it's not just me. It has become this community of believers around this idea that if we can be and do better, our world will change. That you can actually deliver a better tasting, better for you snack that is a part of life moments, that create special memories, all while doing good. Doing good in agriculture, doing good for our farmers, for my children, their children, your children. And after almost a decade of building Quinn, we are finally able to share in our journey. And the good thing for you is that we're just getting started.